Hello YouTube, Evil Twin X here, and just showing the temperature inside my garage, 48 degrees, which is, believe me, really warm compared to the past month or so where it has been so cold that this hasn't even been able to register the temperature. It's been so cold I've been unable to spend any time on the lathe, and also feeling a little bit under the weather, plus my job and kids, blah, blah, blah. It's really taken a toll on my garage time. But even though I haven't been working in the garage, I have been acquiring a few things here and there, and that's what this video is all about. Shop update number 2. So let's get started. So one of the first items I want to show is I acquired the 7th edition to the American Machinist Handbook. And if you're going to be any type of machinist, you need one of these. This is a really thick book of lots and lots of information that I have no idea what it means. But if I need to look it up, it'll be in here. Actually, I do know some of the stuff, but the charts and sizes and formulas, they're all in here. And you guys probably know. So I got this off of eBay, pretty good deal, pretty good condition, and another publication to go in my collection. The second literature that I acquired off of eBay is the how to operate a lathe. And I have something like this, but it's a reprint, and it gets kind of dirty really quick, so I prefer to read that when I'm commuting on the train. And I figured I would use this in the shop. But, you know, everything you needed to know about how to operate a lathe is in here. I've learned a ton from this, and I probably will be going through this with a fine-tooth comb over and over again. I picked up this Starrett thread gauge, the original box, number 4. It's in really good condition. Needs to be cleaned a little bit because it's a little tight. The oil is a little thick on here, you can see, but you know, this is a thread pitch gauge, so if you guys know what this is. I thought I didn't have one, but I actually have a cheap Harbor Freight tap and die set, and in there was a metric and SAE thread gauge, but I got the real deal, Starrett, in the original box. Next item is another small item, and I picked up one of these fish gauges, I think they're called, and these are so you know your angle when you grind your tooling for threading, and how to set your everything up so you can do threads on the lathe. And got this off of eBay too. It's only a few bucks. I think the shipping cost more than the actual part. So another item to go in my machinist toolbox. I got this 6-inch 4-drawer chuck. Came with the key. It is quite heavy. I think it's a Union. Let's see if we can get that in there. I hope that shows up. It's a little worn. I was a little disappointed. On some of the parts, in here, the threads, I forgot where they were. They seemed a little worn, and it's a little tight here and there. I really probably shouldn't have bought this until I start using the lathe. But you know, I have a search on, and every so often one of my searches will pop up, and if something happens to be going for pretty cheap, if nobody's bidding on it, then I'll go for it. So this was a little bit pricey, but compared to other 4-drawer independent drawer chucks this size, I did get this fairly cheap. It was one of my more expensive items, but not the most expensive item that I've purchased, and I'll get to that pretty soon. I'm not quite sure why I bought these other than I think the price was sort of right, but I got these bits. This is a monster bit, and I think I got a tap. Don't even know what size tap this is, but these are sharp, so it's almost hardly been used. Some really big honking bits in really good condition. I mean, I never owned bits this large before. Here's a reamer. Here's another reamer. Some of these bits, the tops are different. They're not just regular shanks or whatever you call these parts, but they all seem pretty sharp. See what's in these. Here's a really long one. Whole bag of regular size, and a couple of more. So I don't know why I bought these. They came up. They were really cheap. I thought maybe I could use something big. This one actually looks like it's been damaged. If you can see how that's all twisted. I think this was like $15. A little bit buyer's remorse, but who knows? Maybe one of these or a few of these will come in handy one of these days. So one of the things I picked up was this really old, rusted, beat up metal toolbox. I figured this could be a little side project for practicing working and restoring metal, making something look brand new. But I thought it had a lot of character, so I picked it up. It was empty, but I went around and picked out a few tools and put them in there, and the guy gave it to me for I think it was like $5 or $7. But let's go through and see what I have. I thought this little metal ball peen hammer was kind of cool. Threw that in. A rat tail file. It's very fine. Wooden handle. Here's some sort of, this is a file. Another one. Very fine. Needs to be cleaned up over here. It looks like it was used to open a can of paint or something. Another file. Loads and loads of files. These are very fine, which I have all I have are coarse files, so I thought these would be handy. Here's a nice small rectangular one. Here's a nice monster one. Once again, it's all gunked up and needs to be cleaned. Here's a really coarse rasp. And another fine, nice and rusty file. Wooden mallet. I actually used this when I was fixing that oil cap on the gearbox on the lathe. I used this to tap it in. So I already used this. Can of super oil. It's really cool. Stuff stinks. Well, it stinks like oil, but the can's kind of cool. Here's a file cleaner. I'll put this to use cleaning those files. I am a sucker for clamps. This looks like a nice old school C-clamp. J.H. Williams, USA. There's a huge difference between these and the Harbor Freight ones. Just feels like this won't break. A couple more files. This is a coarse rat's tail, and a few more very fine smaller ones. Little baby brother C-clamp. Here's a lead mallet. I don't own any. I don't know if this was handmade, but I don't have a lead hammer, so this will come in handy. Chalk line with, actually has chalk in it. I checked because I spilt it when I was checking out the place. Remember my dad had one of these when I was a little kid. They kind of look different now. So I probably will really never use this. I did build a shed over last summer and I had to borrow a neighbor's chalk line. So wish I would have had this. Then there was just this empty little, I don't know if this was a camera box or what it used to hold. It looks like it would go on your belt. It looks like some sort of binocular type camera case, but kind of felt old and vintagey and seemed like it was in good condition. And I figured if I, not only is it cool, if I get any other sort of delicate tool, like a micrometer or something like that, I can use this to protect it. That's it for this box, but there's more. So this small red box, I think it's some sort of electrical box that you would mount on the wall. So he threw this in, and what I'm planning on doing, I get all these, every time I go to Harbor Freight, I get these free flashlights, and I plan on mounting this in the house in an area in case we lose power, which it's kind of happened more than I care it to, but then we'll have a bunch of these flashlights ready to go where everybody can easily get to them. I don't know, I like metal. Here's one other piece of metal. It's a tray, went into a toolbox. I figured I could mount it somewhere on a shelf or just put it in my other big tool chest just to organize things. So no biggie. It's red, it's metal, it's cool. Top and bottom riser for Kennedy 526 Machinist Toolbox. Now I know you guys are saying like, well, you just got a Kennedy. It was one of the smaller ones, and I started to actually outgrow that. This is in really good condition. You know, normal wear and tear. This is dried oil. The bottom one actually has keys to go with it. But they even have the original packaging for some of the drawer dividers in here. So I'm definitely going to put this up. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is about an 8.5 or a 9. I did pay, I think, fair price. What kills you is the shipping on these. If I would to pay this, let's say if I was to find a store around here that sold this, I think I would have got a bargain. It's just the shipping really moves it away from bargain. But honestly, where I live, like, unless I find these in a garage that somebody's selling, Machinist tools, my only real source is online or eBay. So I can't complain. I am very happy with the purchase, and I can't wait to fill it up. I love tools. Evil Twin X, signing off.